Okay guys, so welcome back to another one of my videos. So in this one, as you see from the last video I did, I'll give you a little preview of what I'm going to be doing. So these are the access points. So again, you can see they were for internet. So hopefully there's a little bit of gold recovery material inside of them that I can get something decent out of it, silver or precious metals of some sort. So don't forget, at some stage during this video as well, I'll do a little break in it to show you the weight of the gold pins from the last video. So if any were guessing how many grams gold pins, that's coming up at some stage during this video. So we'll start off by removing the screws. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them, I think. 2, 4, yeah, 10 of them. So I'm just going to pause the video there, and we'll when I come back I'll have all the screws removed from the casing on all 10 of them, so we can get a good look at them, and we'll go from there. So we'll see what sort of boards are inside them. So see you back in a few seconds with all these removed, so you don't have to look at the boring stuff of me screwing these out. In the meantime, if you haven't already, hit the like button or hit the subscribe button to my channel. Make sure you do, so that you get the first to know when I have a new video out, or if there's any other news, Scrapping Irish updates on anything. Just make sure you hit that like or subscribe button, and we'll see you in a few seconds. Okay, so the boring part of removing the screws is done, and we're going to get a look inside these cases and see what's inside them, so you'll get to see the same time I do. Okay, so we have a little connector which is gold plated, which is nice to start off with. So again, we have an aluminium which I'm going to have to remove underneath there and see what's underneath that in a while. And we have a look at the cases. So again, we'll just take them all apart. So they seem to be all the same type of thing. So again, the little gold connector, which I'll cut off and put in with my little gold connecting pins. So every one of them seems to be the same. Just a quick while we're on it, this case here is aluminium. So we have some nice cast aluminium there. So once I remove the actual board from thing, we've got some nice aluminium, or aluminum, as my American cousins will say. So I saved you all the boring part of taking out all the screws. So we're just taking a quick look to make sure they're all the same inside, which they seem to be. Doesn't seem to be anything different on any of them. So again, the same. So another one, the exact same. And the last one. Again, nothing different at all from it. So my next part is, again, I'm going to remove these screws. I'm just going to do one of these. There's no point me doing all 10 on the video. I can do them afterwards. I'm just going to remove one of these, and I'm going to take one of these out of the actual holder as well. So in the meantime, while I'm doing that, let's have a look and see what weight we got in them. So while I'm doing that, let's jump over and see what I got in the actual pins, what weight they were, and see how people got on with their guessing. So check it out, guys. I'll be back in a few seconds. Okay guys, so this is the weighing of them pins. So we have our little scales here, and I'm just going to, it's the same jar, both of them, it's the exact same jar. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to zero this. So we're just going to zero it if we can zero it, there we go. So 0, and we're just going to swap the jars, and that'll tell me how many grams of pins was in that. So we had 672 grams, as you can see there. If I zoom in, I have to move my camera a bit while I'm zooming. So 672 grams. So anyone who would be processing them sort of pins, what would you expect to get from 672 grams? How much gold would you expect to get out of it? How much acid would you expect to use? Stuff like that. So if you want to leave something in the comments there, guys. I know this video that I've put this weighing into the middle of is a different video completely to the one I had planned to put it in, but it was just to see what people had commented. So how many you got it right, I wonder, on that. So alright guys, back to the main part of this video, that where I'm stripping out these devices. So back we go to it. Okay, so welcome back. So you seen the pins, you got the weight. So were you correct on the weight? Were you close to it, or were you as far out as the lighthouse on it? A lot of people were out on it. I was surprised myself by the weight on it, which is nice to have that amount of pins. So okay, we've done that. So thanks for watching that video, guys, and thanks for everyone who commented on the weights and stuff like that. So here we go with the last few bits of this video. Just give me a second there now. I'm just trying to improve a bit of lighting there for a minute. Get a little bit more light on the situation there. So we'll start here with the board, I suppose. So we'll remove the board. I've taken the screws out. We'll remove the board. So what we're left with is a nice piece of aluminium or aluminum, as I said already. So again, you can remove these screws, stuff like that, so that you're not losing any value on it in your scrapyard or whoever you're selling it on to, or if you're going to be casting it or melting it down and making little aluminium bars out of it, which I plan on doing later on, hopefully, with a lot of my aluminium, is to make it into little bars. It's just for videos, for casting and stuff like that. So hopefully there'll be videos coming on that as well. So then we'll have a quick look at the board and check out the board a bit better. So looking at the board, first thing I'll see here is some nice little gold connectors. So 2 little gold connectors that I'll pull off. We have a little ceramic crystal oscillator, which again should contain gold and silver inside of them. So again, there'll be a video on them at some stage. I'll do a video on them. A lot of MLCCs, so anyone that hasn't already knows about the MLCCs, I'm doing a series on them, so I'll put a link to that series if anyone wants to catch it. It's up there in the corner, so you can let the video run and come back to it and have a look at click onto that video if you want to see about the MLCCs. Again, hopefully they're better than a lot of them. We have MOSFETs, so again, can contain gold or silver or copper in them, depending on the quality of them. A little bit of aluminium again there. Copper motor, copper transformer, so again a little bit of copper in there. Some more MLCCs. IC chip. Again, it should have gold bonding wires in it. So that's all mainly on that side that I'll be looking at taking off. If you see there's anything else there, again, it can be silver. In along here, these can be silver. So again, after you've stripped the board completely, you can try and see if there's silver in it, take the silver out of it. On the other side of the board, we just have a crystal oscillator. Again, some MOSFETs. This one here, it's hard to see it, but there is actually gold tinge on it. So again, that's like a gold plating. So that one there I will put separate when I'm doing it. Again, some MLCCs, some more IC chips. A nice little gold cornered BGA chip. So again, that's a higher quality of gold in that, or higher amount of gold should be inside of them. IC chips. And again, that seems to be really what I'll be looking at taking off from there. So again, the aluminum. A little bit of copper in here. If you want to pull that off, put it with your copper. It's a very small amount. We have, do we have a switch? No, it's not a switch. MLCCs again. So that's not a bad board, mid-range board I'd call that one. Then we have, if we remove this, So again, that's just plastic, so really have no value to most people. And again, we have aluminium, attached with a magnet. It doesn't stick to it, so it's just a bit of aluminium sheeting. Again, as I said, the gold plated little connector. And then on here we have like a board which will have silver. So this usually is silver contacts on it, or silver to help with the reception and stuff like that. That's usually silver. So that's silver etched. It's quite thick. You can actually feel it. You can hear it as well when I'm scraping across with my fingernail. So that's quite thick, and that's on both sides of it, I presume. So we'll just quickly remove the screws from here and just have a look at both sides of this board and see if it's silver on both sides. So again, you can put that in with your silver when you're doing your silver from your keyboards or anything like that. So you can do it the same way to remove the silver usually. So hopefully in later on I'll have a video on them as well. I have a lot of videos I'm trying to work on, and it takes a lot of time doing these YouTube videos, because when you're removing like gold or silver using acids, it won't happen in the space of a couple of hours. It has to run sometimes 2 weeks, a month, depending on the weather. So you might start a video, let's say if I started a video this week on gold recovery from the RAM chips, if I decide to start that video, before I have it finished or before it's completed, it may be 2-3 weeks, and then by the time I edit it and by the time I post it up, it might be a month or two before you see that video. But that's why I try and do other videos in between of stripping down and stuff like that while them ones have been done, so that at least I'm getting something out every week. So now we'll just take that out. That's with your aluminium. And yes, it's on both sides. You can see the silver, so you can see the shine of the silver there, and again you can hear it. It is quite a thick layer, which is good. So all of them will be the exact same as that. Every one of them boards will be the same. So it's not too bad of a find. So happy enough with that. Got my aluminium, got my gold recovery materials, got my silver, precious metal materials, a bit of copper in them. So it's not too bad for something that was going to be thrown out or scrapped by someone else, or just dumped. I've also got my even these little screws. I just put them in a jar, put them in a bucket, go out with shred steel. You make something out of them. I know it's very little, but it all adds up. So if you can collect enough over the time, it all just gets extra cash, extra money. So guys, thanks for watching the video. Thanks for the comments on the previous video, having the guess on what amount of gold pins was in there. So on that weight of gold pins, what do you think will be the actual amount of gold I get out of that once I get around to refining that down into gold powder? How much gold powder do you think there'll be in that amount of gold pins? If you've done it before, give me a little yield. I know it varies depending on the quality of the acids, depending on how good you are at doing it, depending on the quality of the gold on the pins, stuff like that. It all varies. There's no exact. So again, just for a bit of fun, let's have a guess and see what I get out of it. And when I come around to that video, we'll see who's the closest in guessing that. So again guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed, and till the next video, keep on looking for that gold guys.